Warning. Broken simulation. Broken simulation. With Sam Tripoli.
And welcome to Johnny Woodard presents Broken Simulation with Johnny Woodard and his trusty psychic Sam Tripoli. There we go. How are we, Johnny?
So what does that make you? Are you sort of the announcer on the show now? Yeah. Since it's my show, but you do the
that's
the
a
intro.
Great question.
Does that make you? Are you like Roddy?
Yeah, I'm basically the guy who goes live from New York, and I just sit back and let you get all the glory.
Well, that guy was great on SNL. What was it? He died a couple years ago. The one that you think
he died just in time to not have to see that show go down in flames.
Yeah, it went down a little bit before he died. Even it's been going. Well, I don't know. Do you think it's?
I have friends on there. I want to do well. And listen, dude, I am coming to grips with that. I am at an age that nobody cares about anymore, and it's both sad and freeing.
What do you mean? People don't care about you at your age? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I just it's like I'm kind of going through this kind of.
You don't think you're gonna get SNL?
I mean, dude, Leslie Jones got it older than me.
Yeah, but she looked like she was about.
Well, yeah,
25.
okay, Johnny, why don't you just get racial?
What?
That was a total black don't crack statement, and that is racism.
I don't think it is.
I get it. It's your podcast, Johnny, and you make the rules.
I don't think it's racial. I didn't mean it racial. I meant she looked like she was 30. You're not really into sketch. Well, you guys used to do sketches. Like, was there ever a time
Johnny, one of the greatest sketches ever done is a thing called Fake Heat. We showed it before.
Was that ever an aspiration of yours? Honestly,
me and my buddy Tony Dorado.
Yeah.
We used to do sketches, and we used to play, reenact Saturday Night Live sketches when we went to school the next week. Everybody wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. But Johnny, before we get into some stuff, I see something on the desk, and this means.
Oh, we're gonna do this right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do you want a story
sure.
first?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. It's a bobblehead alert we're about to have here.
Okay. 3.
I'm gonna give this to you.
Welcome to Bobblehead Alert.
New Bobblehead Alert! Bobblehead Alert! Bobblehead Alert! Bobblehead Alert! It's a new Bobblehead Alert! Bobblehead Alert!
This is the most obscure athlete we've had on the show. I'll say that. The most obscure.
Okay. Do I get to guess what sport?
Yes, yeah, you'll never get it though. I can tell you that. Okay.
Hulk Hogan.
Nah, you're never gonna.
Eddie the Eagle.
No.
Am I close on any of that? Okay, who is this? Oh my God! That is the best bobblehead.
It's a Sam Tripoli bobblehead.
It is a Sam Tripoli bobblehead.
He's wearing the
with a
same
mic,
hat, almost the same shirt.
and I look great.
It's funny. I had to give them notes too. I was like, he's a little older than that.
No, why did you do that?
He's not that white.
That's great.
Had to bring your skin tone down a little bit.
Dude, Bobblehead Alert.
Guys, show the camera. Show the camera.
I did.
What? No, you had it turned kind of to the side. Right here. Here's your camera. There we go. I'll take a picture of it later. That's cool, right?
Yeah. Now the question is, Johnny, where does this bobblehead go? Like
What
where?
section?
Yeah, like. Does
By
it
the
go
way,
up
that was from AmazingBobbleheads.com.
AmazingBobblehead.com. AmazingBobbleheads.com.
Bobbleheads.com. Yeah, if you want to get.
Can you look it up? Show them on the screen. They just gave us a bottle. Well, yeah, I'm sure you had to buy it.
No, I bought it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
okay.
they said they'd give me my money back if
Look.
I read it on the podcast.
Look at that, dude. Bobblehead. The guy, he's like flying, and then
Yeah, you
you
can
got
do
a
all kinds of
nurse.
There's Sam right there next to the We Go Deep Home.
Dude, that's a great bobblehead, dude. I'm glad you put me in all black like I'm dangerous. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's based on a photo of you, actually, where you were wearing pretty much exactly that.
Dude, that is the shit. And by the way, I will get that thin again. Thank you,
Sure,
Johnny.
yeah.
That's great, Johnny. That's great.
They do that by hand, too, man.
Johnny, little things like that keep the gun out of my mouth. Thank you, bro.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Thank you. Another 24. You just gave me another 24.
Sweet.
That is pretty cool, dude.
Sorry, I couldn't get you a little longer than that. Maybe another 365 even.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll stay around for a little longer, Johnny. You got it. You make me feel loved. What else is going on, Johnny? Anything interesting in your life?
Oh, fuck.
Why are you looking up something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, are you part of the broken? Are you broken? Do you wish you could talk to other broken? Are you like, am I alone in this broken world being broken? Are there any other broken? Well, yes, there are. And guess where you can go talk to broken? You can go to samtripoli.com. Actually, chat.samtripoli.com. And there is now a community on there in my section I call Smack. It is my Discord. It's called Element. But to understand what it is, it's called Discord. And you just go to chat, chat.samtripoli.com, and you will in fact find the community. You have to sign up, but the community's on there, and you can talk to all the other broken.
Okay. Good idea.
So go there. Broken. Guess what? If you're a drunk puncher, there's a community there for you. And if you, again, tinfoil hat, you're in the unwanted, you name it, every podcast I do has a community there, and you all go get it at samtripoli.com. If you want to see me live, I'm going to be in Alaska next weekend. That's the 16th and 17th. I got to put up the 17th date on my website, but that's going to be in Alaska. Go to samtripoli.com for tickets. And then the following week, then on the 24th, I am in San Diego. Johnny should come one time.
I'm not in town. I'm going to be in
You're going to be back in North Carolina, working on the farm.
You should come to North Carolina. I guess to come see some UFOs, dude.
I'm down with doing it. We just got to set it up.
Okay.
Ryan Bledsoe, again, had a podcast.
Bledsoe said so.
Bledsoe said so. But I'm going to be in Alaska, San Diego, and then I'm going to be in Dallas and OKC. So get those dates at samtripoli.com. Johnny, I'm really thinking about just going full on off the grid.
What do you mean? Like
Stand-up
Ryan?
wise.
Like you? Oh, I got you. I thought you meant you're leaving podcasting and you're just.
Johnny, you're stuck with me. Okay. Unless we.
I think we have a pretty good time. I have to say, compared to most people I see in the world, we have a pretty good time.
No, we have it great. I'll get into a lot of the chaos that's been going on in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have a good. I'm thinking about going fully like I want to do comedy clubs outside the House of Comedy, and a couple of the like.
What kind of venues would you do though?
Rock clubs.
Just rock clubs.
Rock clubs and small theaters.
Is that hard to book? Is that hard to
Well,
arrange?
I'm going to work with my buddy Zane on that, and he does that. So we're going to work out a deal. I go, as long as I'm making what I make doing these comedy clubs.
Do you think you can? Is a business side
I
of that
do, man.
It makes sense.
So, Johnny, let's say you go on the road to get, and this is inside baseball, but
no, I think this is fascinating, though. Go inside.
To hit a bonus in most clubs, you got to sell 400 tickets, right?
Yeah, okay.
So let's just say the club brings half the people, right?
Uh-huh.
So
is that pretty typical, you think?
I think they bring a chunk. I mean, they have a
Depends on the
system.
market, right?
It depends on the club, right?
Yeah, okay.
You like the people like the Comedy Store and people like House of Comedy. They work really hard to, and then you got Tacoma, the guys who own Tacoma, the guys who own Oklahoma City. They're great. That's a great comedy club chain as well. They work really hard as well. I think they just bought a club in Austin as well. So, if your club does promotion, they bring people. But let's just say you bring half the audience, right? Let's just say you hit a bonus at 400. You brought 200 people, and you charge, and you can walk out of there with a couple grand. But if you do it yourself, you charge $20 a pop. You can walk out of there, or like $25 a pop, which is what a comedy club ticket costs nowadays.
Yeah,
you're wearing down with $5,000. And that's just one night.
No shit. Okay.
Because you do each market.
And what? And even after you paid, you taking care of all the overhead.
There's not a lot of overhead.
But I mean the rental.
Right, but then you sell you make a deal with the club. Either they could do an 80-20.
And what, they're making money on drinks? Is that
yeah,
their
that's
end
how
of
they
it,
make
basically?
their money.
Okay.
And that's kind of inside baseball for
that's fascinating though. And so
But I think, Johnny,
are there enough rock clubs like that?
I think so.
Okay.
And Johnny, here's what I gotta say. I think that's the future of comedy. The more and more podcasts become powerful, more and more powerful, more and more people are gonna be like, why don't I just go somewhere where I get the tickets?
Well, dude, we could do a podcast tour. How about that? Where we record episodes of the podcast out on the road.
Johnny, I don't think you're ready to tour.
No, not stand up though, just podcast.
Yeah, I don't think you're ready to podcast tour.
What do you mean?
I don't think you'll go on the road and podcast.
Of course I would.
I don't think you will.
Why wouldn't I?
Because I think you're afraid.
Afraid of what? I try. I
Germs
leave.
and
I'll leave.
stuff. Yeah.
No, dude. No. I'm good. I'm not worried about that.
I would love to get.
I don't think people. Yeah, I don't know if people are ready for that though. A podcast tour right now, but Yeah, if you ever think
I
that's
think
practical.
that is a big issue with people going on the road. They're like, it's like, I'm not selling out. Well, some people are selling out because the rooms are small. They're like still half rooms.
But-
In other places, like, are people coming out?
Because of the scare tactics in
Yeah.
the media.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bad, right?
Dude, I got to pop up on my phone the other day, Sigma variant or something like that.
What do you
Epsilon
think there's
variant.
more strains? Weed or Corona?
It's catching up, dude. Coronavirus catching up.
And it's just like so many people are watching the news still. Like, it's like, Johnny, if you lied to me as much as the news, I would never take your advice on anything.
No. Yeah, well, if you not even lied, if you were just wrong about shit that you thought you were right about as often, nobody would ever believe you for anything.
Yeah,
You know?
right?
I mean,
and never apologize for it.
oh, never acknowledge it. It used to be, dude, it used to be writing a correction in like newspapers was a big fucking deal, dude. It was shameful. If you had to do it, you were embarrassed. And they would put prominently on the paper, this day's issue, we fuck whatever up. And now these especially online, they'll make the edit, no sign of it anywhere. They don't tell you. They just make the edit and it's disappeared.
And they go back to old ones, right? Old articles will edit
all the time.
What was said.
All the time.
It's unbelievable,
Yeah.
right?
There's no accountability for being wrong or lying.
There's no accountability.
Not on the internet.
At all.
Except for us. I mean, like people tweeting about it and holding their feet to the fire. But who's really doing that? Not many people who watches the watchers.
Because, it's like we were talking like there's a lot of stuff going on in society and there's no punishment for being wrong with some people, meaning, it's like this Me Too stuff. It's like how many times where things came out, nothing came of it, and then they didn't have to apologize for it.
No.
There's literally there's no reason to not do it other than you have a conscience and you don't want to do that to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're somebody just trying to hurt somebody else, there's no reason not to.
100%.
Because worst case is it gets rolled back 6 months later and nobody hears about it.
Nobody cares. And you just move on.
over.
But the problem is that these girls and everybody they don't understand there's a difference between fame and infamy. And they don't know that.
I don't even know if there is a difference anymore.
I think there is.
Well, the kind of fame that exists now and is like the ideal kind of fame, which is just being known, there's no difference between that and being infamous.
Right.
That's what they want, just to be known.
Like, you're younger than me, Johnny. But like the Hollywood that I moved to
Definitely
does not exist anymore, right?
What do you mean by that?
Like
Like
get on
the
a
industry?
sitcom, your
Yeah.
life changes, and blah, blah, blah.
That hasn't
right?
been the case for 20 years, is it?
Now it's like, if you get a movie, it's like, hey, yeah, you got a movie. Great.
Yeah, is anybody going to see it?
But
Where's it going? Straight to
but-
Hulu?
But what is this? Why do I bring this all up? Because I'm going to be honest with you. And listen, anytime I make a criticism of comedy, just know I am more than willing to accept the premise that I'm not funny. Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I will accept that people don't find me funny. I'm willing to accept that at any time. That is always on the board. And I will put that out as the first option every time.
I mean, some people didn't find Carlin funny either. So.
Right. Some people didn't find Bill Hicks. I mean, Ari Shaffir still thinks Bill Hicks isn't funny.
Yeah, and
There's
I don't
people
even
who
know if
hated
he's
Sam
doing that like
Kinison.
trolling now or if
Yeah.
he's serious. But
Right? It's Sam Kinison. And it comes down to like what kind of danger do you like?
If people keep telling you to try meditation and you're like, when would I have time? You should check out Headspace. Headspace is your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. I've had this app for years now. I love it. It's really simple. It's one of the only meditation apps advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. So whatever the situation, Headspace can really help you feel better. Are you overwhelmed? Headspace has a 3-minute SOS meditation for you. Need some help falling asleep? Headspace has a wind-down session that their members swear by. And for parents, Headspace even has morning meditations that you can do with your kids. Headspace's approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost focus, and increase your overall sense of well-being. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. Headspace makes it easy for you to build a life-changing meditation practice with mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/broken. That's headspace.com/broken for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. Again, this is the best deal offered right now, and it's at headspace.com/broken. Go there today.
I mean, Dice's best album, as far as I'm concerned, is him bombing for the crowd he was in front of there, you know? And I think it's hilarious.
Johnny, which brings me to, I basically have edited, not cleaned up, but put together the new special. Okay. I have an A to Z. I'm deciding.
It worries me that The Day the Laughter Died made you think of that, your new special. Is that?
No, because I have a name for my new special.
Okay. Go on.
And what we talked before, it was going to be like Buckle Up Buttercup.
Yeah, that was an option.
Or hashtag No Lives Matter.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah.
But I've come up with a name.
A different one from the two of us. Okay.
And I've decided to go with it. Why are you getting quiet? Why are you getting quiet?
Because you say that must say
all the time.
Yeah, several times.
Why are you getting quiet?
That's great. Yeah.
And that's the name of it.
That's it.
And this is gonna be all the Corona, all the George. I got George Floyd jokes, all that stuff. That's not gonna be relevant in a year.
It's not gonna seem like you said. It's not gonna seem like you named it that, then said it on purpose in the special.
No. Oh
okay.
no.
Okay.
Oh no, because I just kind of started laughing.
Yeah.
But I was really nervous about it because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. But based on the edits, it's looking pretty good. But this all comes together.
Where'd you shoot it?
The secret group in Houston. And my buddy Mike Plaster came out and shot it, and we're just going to put it together. I'm just going to put it out and let it fly.
You like the look of it and everything? Your last special was amazing. I mean,
I don't know if it will get to that quality look. But it's gonna be great, and it needed to happen.
Because you just got a backlog?
Yeah, okay. So let's get into this. So again, I will accept, and it's on the table as the first option that I'm not funny. I am putting it on the table as an option. Now, some people will be like, "No, dude, you're funny." Okay, now we're looking at that, right? I am starting to look at the comedy landscape in Los Angeles and wondering if I want to participate in it anymore.
Yeah. Anymore?
What
was that?
Anymore. I don't know if I want to participate in it anymore. I just don't know if in my current state, if it's something that I enjoy doing. Now, I'm not going to tell you that people aren't funny. I think they're super funny.
You're talking about L.A., right?
Yeah, L.A.
Is it because it must be partly because of how many people left?
I do think there was a brain drain. Now, does it mean the people on all these lineups in not just one club, all the clubs aren't funny? No, they're super funny. But the problem is it's all the same shit. And that doesn't mean they're doing the same act. It means it's all one style, which is pop comedy.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
It's the younger version of what if you had like Seinfeld, Ellen, and that kind over and over.
Like references though? What do you mean by pop comedy? Safe. Okay. Politically correct.
Yes. There's
appealing,
no danger.
Scratching the sort of the social awareness bone.
Where it goes, Johnny, we've already talked about this, but we'll bring it up again. What are the different types of comedians? There's three of them. Yeah. There's clowns, there's shit talkers, and then there's outlaws.
And what are the type that you're talking about that is kind of dominating LA now? What are
clowns?
They? Clowns, okay. Which is just what? Sell their soul for a laugh? Is that what that means?
Well, see, when you put sell your soul, it has a negative connotation to it. And it's very important that people understand that a clown is not a negative thing in this sense. Mm. A clown in this sense is that they just really care about the laugh is the most important thing.
Well, what would you classify?
Now you have clownish shit talkers.
Well, tell me what this is, though.
Okay.
So you have out here in LA a type of comic I noticed that they're kind of like the Hicks, but they're trying to do the Hicks thing but they're doing it from the woke perspective. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to do that, though. They're trying to put that message into it. Now, where do they fall on this?
Clowns.
Still clowns, even though they're trying to do the...
Yes.
Okay.
Because what is really important to them is the laugh. Now, shit talkers... They're
using that to get the laugh.
a shit talker? I have Bill Burr as a shit talker.
Yeah.
And we'll get into why I bring him up, but I love Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr is great. Outlaws, Doug Stanhope, Joey Diaz. Shit talkers, Joe Rogan. Outlaws.
Now, are these on a spectrum? Is it like clown and then kind of in the middle there?
Yeah, you can have clownish shit talkers and shit talking clowns.
Right, but there's a spectrum though, and kind of in the middle is the shit talker.
Yes.
And then on this, the fringes are the clowns and the outlaws.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. All right.
And what do you think I am?
No, I mean it's outlaw. Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean obviously.
Yes.
100%. You burn the place down half the time,
love
and
it.
You don't care.
I would love it, and that's where I'm at right now.
Which is just it's honestly a gift though that you can do that like mentally because that.
Oh, I mean, dude, I had a crippling drug addiction. It's like I didn't just do it easily. I had to power through.
Yeah,
No,
I'm saying it's a great thing, is what I mean.
I mean, I had a gig the other day. I love the haha. It's ran by Armenians. I support it. But man, I had a set where I got off stage. And what am I doing with my life? What am I doing?
Even
and then people are coming up, taking pictures with me, thanking me for the set. I'm like, I have no clue what's going on right now. I have none. I am a lost soul. So there's a lot of things going on right now. So one thing I'm going to tell you is every time I do a set, every time I work on a new hour, I try to have a goal.
Yeah.
I've had goals where I want to learn to be a storyteller. Okay. I have goals where I just want to see, and the last two kind of been like, how real can I get on stage? Like this one, Why Are You Getting Quiet? Is going to just be like, set everything on fire, in my humble opinion.
Well, can I ask you real quick? When you are doing, every night when you go up, you seem to me that you don't do the same set, like from night to night.
I don't. And that's a big problem as well.
Well, how do you develop a special like over a month when you don't really do the same material?
Well, what I used to do, and I can't do it as much because there's just not as much stage time in LA as there used to be. It's just the way it is. And
even now,
yeah, it's just kind of crazy. I have to go start generating spots. And what most of this talk is about
make
is
your own room, right?
I don't want to participate in what's going on in LA. Uh-huh. There's a lot of things I don't like, and I don't want to participate with it.
They still doing the dojo?
No, it's gone. But I don't even want to do that. I just want to show up somewhere, have a couple fans, but just work on new shit and work on this. I want to do comedy where it's, at this point, relatable with my sick view of the world. And that's the challenge on the next episode, which is kind of what like a Louis C.K. does. I want to take my point of view to relatable shit, because right now I'm not doing any relatable shit. It's just,
and that's going to be the one you already committed to video, or the next one.
The next one.
Okay, what you're working on now.
I would say I'm about to start it. I have old jokes that I haven't put in the last one,
and you're kind of going to pass them through this prism of your perspective.
I'm going to try. I give myself a challenge.
And it sounds like you're going to have a tighter, maybe more of a theme to this next one, maybe than
my life
in the past.
Yeah, like I went from stories to observationals back to observation, story, observation. Now I'm going to go back to my life and just shit going on in my life. But I don't feel like I'm a part of the comedy in LA. And maybe that's 48 years old, been here since I was 25. Yeah. And it's,
but have you talked to your friends? Like, your comedian friends, how do they feel?
Like a lot of my friends don't go to the store like they used to.
But so they feel the same way probably.
Yeah. I mean, like most of them have moved.
Well, how was it when you were young? Did the old guys hang around?
No,
I'm not telling you old. You know what I mean? The guys who are veteran guys.
I'm old.
Yeah.
And the comedy
But I mean,
store,
even older than you, like the 60-year-old guys.
I feel like Van Wilder there.
Okay. But were there guys that were there when you were 25 and that kind of we're still hanging out with everybody.
Well,
and
you know, when I
mixing
got
up.
picked up at the store, they just basically cleaned house and got rid of a lot of people.
Well, how does that work? Wait, I thought once you're passed, you're passed. Is that?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're going to get spots.
You're not gonna get spots. Okay.
You're still passed. You're still regular. You're regular to the day you die.
But you can never. There were guys who would just call in and not get spots,
yeah,
even though
it
they were
happens
regulars.
all the time.
Okay.
But
How many people? Do you know how many people are passed at the Comedy Store total? Could you guess? That are living.
that are
Obviously.
living,
Yeah.
I'd probably say 1,000.
1,000, really? Okay.
Over
Yeah, I mean, I'm
the
talking about
40-year history.
Yeah. Okay, but that are alive right now, you think about 1,000.
Now, I don't know if they're all alive, but people have been passed. I'd probably put it.
And how many of them do you think are still trying to would take the spots if they could get them? Like, how many hundreds is that?
Hundreds and hundreds. For every spot, not just regular, but for every spot, the world famous Comedy Store, I'd say there's 1,000 people that would take that spot.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing.
Oh, it's so incredibly hard.
So what we're talking about, though, I say that to kind of get to this, is we're talking about who's getting picked for spots here. Is why
Yeah.
it's changed. That's what's changed. Is what you're saying.
But yes, and it's also on me though, because like
Okay.
I have to be like, dude, the party doesn't last forever, and
I hate that idea, though, man. Because
I look
I'm
at-
afraid of it kind of going down the tubes, like wokeness just invading that place. And
Well, I listen, man, and this conversation is not about just the Comedy Store.
Everywhere.
It is not.
Yeah, obviously.
It is LA comedy.
but that's the heart of West Coast comedy is the Comedy Store. And if
the
it goes,
heart of comedy is
Yeah.
stand-up comedy, and the only other heart would be the
cellar,
cellar. Okay, but that's like it's just. I mean, like let's go up to the pandemic, right? The Comedy Store was the home. It was the mecca of comedy. Okay.
huge blow when Rogan left.
And it was the mecca of comedy podcasts.
Yeah.
All the great comedy podcasts were there.
Huge blow when he left.
Yeah, dude.
Like so hypothetically, if Rogan doesn't leave, how many other people are still in LA right now?
All of them.
All of them. Yeah.
I'm not even
That's
kidding.
the biggest domino there could have been. It's the first domino. And
But I get what he's doing, though.
No, totally,
And I have
yeah.
I would do, like, he should move for just tax reasons.
Yeah, just
he
tax
should
reasons,
move. And it's just like, you know, I don't know how old Rogan is. Is he 53 or something like that?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, him and Leslie Jones both probably.
You know, and it's just like, sometimes you want to chill.
53.
And he's on the road, and
Hard to chill in LA. Yeah.
it's just like, I get it, dude. And a lot of people moved out there. I know Tim Dillon moved and moved back.
He's back in LA now.
Yeah.
What did he say was his reason for that? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't. You know, I hear it through second, third people.
Yeah,
I don't
well-
listen to anybody's podcast.
I don't really either. Yeah. I listen to sports podcasts.
I used to listen. I don't even do that. I just listen to a little sports radio.
AM radio. You really are getting
I
old,
am
dude.
an old man. I
AM
am an
radio.
old man.
What a
But
goober.
you know, and like, dude, Rogan's got a great show. Duncan Trussell's got a great show.
If there's I will say Rogan I do listen to, especially if
He's-
like Quentin Tarantino's on there,
Yeah,
I'm
of
there
course,
for sure.
Of course.
And it's still good, dude. He's still the same old guy, you know. He
Yeah, I mean,
argues
just
when he
bought
wants
he just bought a new theater.
a theater.
Like, you know how he buys movie theaters?
Yeah.
He has
Oh,
one out-
Tarantino.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Rogan.
Rogan.
No. Quentin Tarantino bought a second movie theater, and it's the one on the corner of Sunset and Hollywood. Where they
Vista Theater.
Yep, Vista.
Oh
Theater.
yeah. Oh, dude, that's a great theater. I've been there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I took my girlfriend on a date there really early on.
Yeah. Is that sealed the deal, bro? Is that when we knew that your fake girlfriend
you know,
was?
we saw Annie Hall, Woody Allen.
So I go, where I might not have a place, and that's okay. And again, it might be that I'm not funny. I'll accept that. You know,
Doubtful.
it's possible. It's
You wouldn't be able to make a living if you weren't funny.
you know what I've learned recently is that what I'm dominating at, and there are things that I am doing very well at. And if people knew what I was actually doing, they'd be very impressed. And I only say that in the sense that it keeps the gun out of my mouth, okay? But What I am doing very well at is not something at this moment matters to industry people. And by what I mean industry people is people who are booking these comedy clubs. What I'm doing well at, which is what everyone's striving to do well at, does not register as
It's not a credit. Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't. You know, how well my podcasts are. Like, dude, last week I had 2 podcasts in the top 100
Wild.
on
Wow.
Apple.
Yeah.
Think about how many comedy podcasts there are.
All of them.
And I had 2 of them. And I only say that,
Tens
guys,
of
in the
thousands.
sense that the whole point of this spiel is that I don't know if I have a place in modern day LA comedy, which brings us to this argument.
I will say, just before we get to that, I would encourage you strongly to try to fight it out and stay in there, man. Because if you pull out of it, other people will follow, I'm sure, and then it's just we're gonna lose it to the wrong people. The whole thing.
Well, we'll see, dude.
I see it as kind of a war.
I mean,
honestly,
you know, after the Comedy Store Showtime special came out, right, the series, I had a bunch of people who worked there come up to me and go, you know, Rogan was a big reason why the store came back, but you were a big part of it too. They told me. I had multiple people there that, you know, you doing shows here when nobody else wanted to was a big part. And then, you know, Adam gets in and things just start to change there. And now we're on a new booker and I love her to pieces, but I don't know if I register in
what's her background? Where'd she come from?
Well, I'll tell you this. Emily is a booker there, and she's a wonderful person, and she's been working there for a very long time. And, you know, she used to book at the Improv, and, you know, I'll say this right now. She was the last booker at the Improv that got it.
Okay.
And, you know.
Very different kind of place than the Comedy Store.
Well, this is what we're going to get into, okay? It's like, this is the argument. So this woman, Valerie, what's her name? Tosi, is that her name?
I guess.
Valerie
yeah, I mean,
Tosi.
That's what
I don't know Valerie Tosi. By all accounts, she could be, you know, I don't know her, but she could be the most wonderful person. I have zero problems with her.
Unlikely.
Okay. And I'm not going to argue that. So this young lady, right, puts out a tweet in which she goes and she tags all the comedy clubs. She goes, I've noticed your lineups. I've been looking. They're very dominant white male. Where's the diversity? And this is what they always say. And I don't know if she actually wrote it, but basically this is what the sentiment was. We can do better.
Oh, God.
We can do better. Then she follows up. Can you click on her thing?
Yeah.
Then she follows up with and this is where I start to lose it.
Hey, Broken Sim listeners, it's Johnny here, and I'm back with a sponsor that we think a hell of a lot of. That's American Giant. American Giant CEO Bayard Winthrop grew up with a sweatshirt from the 1950s that his father gave him. Today, that very same sweatshirt is in his closet and looks better than ever. With that durable sweatshirt in mind, American Giant launched the classic full-zip hoodie as their flagship product, aiming to revive local manufacturing and craft quality clothing made to last a lifetime. All it takes is one quality piece to set a new standard. American Giant believes clothes should be wearable for years, so you don't buy more than what you need. With their passion for truly durable clothing, they've crafted what Slate Magazine calls the greatest hoodie ever made, the classic full-zip hoodie. They obsessed over every detail of this hoodie, so you're going to be obsessed with it too. They even brought in a former Apple industrial engineer to help with the design process. I just want to say Sam has the classic hoodie, and he absolutely loves it. He raves about it, the feeling of durability, the feeling of quality. It's become his favorite hoodie. He wears it all the time. One more note about American Giant's manufacturing process, their American manufacturing process. Their cotton fleece is made from locally grown cotton in the Carolinas, where I'm from. It all ends with a final manufacturing in Middlesex, North Carolina. So check that out. Get your classic full-zip hoodie at american-giant.com today and use promo code BROKEN for 15% off your first order. That's 15% off when you use the code BROKEN at american-giant.com.
This?
Yeah.
Well, this is
update.
the update. Okay. This is what you want, though?
Yeah.
'cause it's got both.
I just sat down, made a list of women, non-binary, female-identifying comics in LA. Without even breaking the sweat, I wrote 200 names, and I'll keep adding. Bookers, if you want them, DM me. Okay, now go up here.
First of all, I'd love to see that list. Love to see it.
Update! The list is now 300 plus. It's Google Sheet, so it's always able to update. Include everyone's contact info, social media, blah, blah, blah. We did the work for you. Get at me if you want it. Huge shout out to the bookers that already reached out. Johnny, if I put a gun to your fucking head, could you name 300 killers? Killers!
Women?
No,
or
not
just killers in general?
Killers in general.
No, of course. No.
It's impossible.
No. But I could name about 1,000 dudes who are trying to do comedy just from all the time,
You can no. This is just I came up with names.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's saying 300, like that's an impressive number. I can me, who's not even that deep into comedy scene here, could probably come up with 1,000 names of dudes.
So what she is doing right there is the same thing that the WNBA does when they're like, we should get paid the same, which is equal outcome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what by saying I have 300 names, she is saying that there is no such thing as talent in comedy. All comedians are created equal. Yeah. And the reason why these guys are flourishing is because they're white men given opportunity. And when I talk to other female comics, and believe me, you talk to most female comics who are successful, they don't do this.
No.
They don't make lists. They don't tweet about how hard comedy is on women. You know why? Because they're killing it. Now, if you pull them aside where they go, hey, is comedy hard? For a woman, they'll be like, yeah, it's hard. The real honest ones will be like, no, I have an advantage. There's way less of us. Okay? And Ryan Stout put this out. And I kind of tweeted about it. Ryan Stout once put out, female comics think if there's a comedy festival out there and 100 male comics submit and 20 female comics submit,
it should be 50-50.
and they take 10 and 10 of each, that's equality.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's special treatment.
Of course it is.
So I've taken it down because I just sometimes go, am I putting out bad energy? Is it stealing my loosh? So I retweet her and I go, white females are the fucking worst.
Yeah, probably not the best choice.
Just imagine saying that female comics have it bad in comedy in 2021. Imagine that. She hits me back along the lines of, and I think you had it up earlier, oh, honey.
That right there, right?
Oh, yeah. Hi there. I'm white, but this is not about me. This is about lineups being unequal in terms of diversity. This is a list I created of, isn't 300 white? You silly goose.
Silly goose.
Which is totally patronizing.
Patronizing. Yeah, totally. For
totally
sure.
being patronizing to me.
That's that passive aggressive thing too.
Yeah,
people do
yeah.
now, and it's the worst.
So this is where I get her, and she blocked me after this.
Of course she did.
I go, it is,
yeah, block is thirsty. Yes.
It is completely about you. I've noticed the amount of spots you are getting has gone up. It's all about you. I'm sure you're a nice person, but this reeks of opportunist. So she comments to this, and she's erased it since.
Oh, okay. What did she say?
And she goes, see, you don't see her response after that.
Yeah.
She goes, I normally block trolls like this. This is paraphrasing, but basically along the lines. Who counts spots? You're counting spots? You're a troll. And I go,
what?
First of all, calling you on your bullshit doesn't make you a troll.
Yeah, of course not.
Second of all, I'm a troll because I count spots. I go, you started counting spots.
That's what she saw. That's the whole thing.
And realized you weren't getting anybody. If counting spots makes you a troll, you must be a ... And that's where she blocked me.
Yeah, of course.
Because she got caught on her bullshit.
She lost. Yeah.
She lost.
She took an L.
Out of nowhere, Laura Kilmartin tweets me, and I think it's still up there if you can find it somewhere.
I don't see it in this thread though.
I like Kilmartin. Lori Kilmartin. I think she's a nice person. And I don't really.
Oh,
so
this is it. Yeah,
she responds to me with this tweet.
Yeah.
This is Bill Burr's premise, but without the great punchline at the end. Neat.
Another silly goose type of comment.
Silly goose comment.
Yeah.
What Kilmartin's saying right there is that Bill Burr is the first person to ever say fucking white chicks suck. Have you ever been to urban rooms? Every guy I've ever heard in comedy has said it. So she's comparing my tweet to a joke done in a special. Like Lori Kilmartin, everything comes out of her mouth is original and never been said before.
Yeah, well, don't step on your own joke here. You tagged her back pretty hard. Let's go ahead and just give us that.
And then I tweet her, and I'm going to hit it a little bit more. Oh, wow, Kilmartin. That's great. Thank you. I guess great minds think alike. Good luck on saying something that has never been said before. Keep bombing with your original thoughts. And I mean, like, and
That's just the hammer, though.
I like her. I like Laura Kilmartin. This is obviously
She asked for
a
it.
a moment where people who you like don't necessarily like you back, and you have to kind of accept that like. I like her. Obviously, her snarky bullshit response isn't funny. I mean, I like her hustle, and she hustles, dude. She hustles, and I respect her because every time I see her on stage, she's eating dick, right? She's just eating a dick, which make no doubts about it, is the only dick she is getting, okay? This chick I get no dick energy. You ever heard of big dick energy? She has no dick energy, okay?
Oh,
She
great.
has, that is a Karen if I've ever seen a Karen. But I like her. I think she's nice.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But I do. But listen to what you're saying. You're saying that a tweet is a joke?
Yeah, anything anybody's ever joked about in a special, I guess it's off limits now on Twitter.
Unbelievable. It's like the dumbest fucking mention ever. Yeah. And this is what I'm getting to, man. It's just like, I get worried that the Comedy Store is going to get too woke because there is huge pressure from people who don't buy tickets to shows.
Yeah, and it's not even, that's the thing that you say huge pressure, but it's not real pressure. It's just a couple of people who are mouthy on Twitter.
But
that's
you don't understand, dude. It gets retweeted by bots and it looks like it's a movement.
Yeah.
And it's not a movement.
And then the advertisers could get involved, and it's just like
it just becomes something that it just basically becomes the emperor's new clothes.
This is why you got to stay in the scene, though.
Yeah, but dude, I always said this. I'm not gonna be shown the door. I'm going to leave on my own.
Well, what happened about raging against the dying of the light? What happened to that?
Well, because is it my job? I mean, like,
Those are
dude,
counter.
I stuck around while nobody else was at the store before. And I shouldn't say nobody else. There was a lot of great comics that were unknown there.
Yeah, you know,
banging
we know
out,
what you mean. Yeah.
right? So, I mean, it's just like, go. I also have this thing, go where you want it. And not that, because listen, everybody at the Comedy Store loves me. They love me. Everybody from top to shelf.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. Love me. Okay? I know that. But it's like, when you have this kind of pressure out there, it gets like, who are we going to give spots to?
It's gonna be so much easier for them to give into the pressure if there's nothing coming from the other side.
I mean, we'll see, dude. And this is the problem, man.
Maybe that's what we got to do, though. Maybe we got to play their game. Start with the bots and the fake Twitter, and maybe we just got to start doing that, man. Maybe it's time.
I mean, like, dude, it all falls when you do push back.
Yeah, it's a house of cards for sure.
But it's just like, I mean, like the improv. I love the improv. I grew up in comedy, going and seeing Rita and gigging there all the time. And it fucking was starting to hurt when they started putting together these fucking flyers of diversity and people go to the show and nobody would laugh.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's like, and I say this all the time, why I love Tim Dillon, why I respect Tim Dillon, is because what he's doing is so incredibly hard. Because his lifestyle isn't something where like you can go on stage and just start talking about it and everybody relate to it. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, being an openly gay comic is probably openly gay male comic is incredibly hard.
Well, especially in the club like group, not like the alt sort of hipster room that half the comics.
They're like yes. Yeah. But in like where you make your money, it's incredibly hard. So much of it is about relatability, right?
And he's the most relatable guy.
And he's just found a way through his podcasting, politics. It's a wonderful thing to do. Politics. People come to hear him talk politics.
I will say though, another reason they're winning with this is that she got her entire bullshit premise down to one tweet. And it took us 20 minutes of talking about it to dissect it and prove why it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that,
right.
and they're
but,
just
but
so
we're also doing a podcast.
Yeah, but
I mean, if I had to do it in
they're good at messaging. That's what I'm saying. They're really and how many people are actually gonna see when the takedown of it? Nobody.
And also, there's nothing at risk initially with agreeing with her. There's a lot at risk voicing opposition to what she's saying.
Well, yeah. I mean,
there's a lot,
including your Twitter profile, which you've lost on a number of occasions.
100%.
For shit like this.
100%.
If you're like me, you're maybe looking to get your finances together, learn a little bit more about business. I turned to a number of different podcasts for this, and they all put me to sleep. That is until I found Brad and David, the hosts of IP Frequently. They do this miraculous sort of blend of solid business advice, 80s music, and headline news. It all goes into this cohesive package that is informative and entertaining. So check those guys out. Again, that's Brad and David of IP Frequently. It's not a chronic condition. It's actually a podcast. And stay up to date with their weekly stream of episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Again, that's IP Frequently. And you can stay up to date on their weekly stream of episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Highly recommend those guys. Check them out, folks.
So, that's where we're at. And it is what it is. And so who knows how long it all goes.
Have you ever seen this thing of Hitchens talking about... Now, I don't agree with this, but the video is why... He wrote an article for Vanity Fair called Why Women Aren't Funny. And this is... he got some guff from... There was a Vanity Fair cover with Tina Fey and all the women from SNL looking kind of sexy, and like, well, look at these women, we put lipstick on comedy, now it's sexy or whatever. And so this is kind of his response to criticism about his Why Women Aren't Funny thing. And it's just hilarious. I don't agree with all of it, but it's funny. Hold on, here you go. An immodest rebuttal from Christopher Hitchens is what it says here. In the April Vanity Fair, Alessandra Stanley joined forces with Sarah Silverman, Tina Fey, and Amy Poehler, and other great female comics to prove that women are no slouches in the humor department. This is Christopher Hitchens.
In a world where 50% of the population is female, one man had the audacity to write an article titled, Why Women Aren't Funny. Now, Sarah Silverman, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler,
it's a troll job.
And writer Alessandra Stanley are striking back in Vanity Fair. Think Christopher Hitchens is worried? Think again.
There's only a dispute about what the answer is. There is no question that for women, the need or ability to be funny is tremendously less than it is among men.
He's
Nobody
talking truth
has been found to deny that. Alessandra doesn't even try to deny it. If you were to ask me, has reading her article made me reconsider my view that women aren't, as a gender, funny, I would say very much to the contrary. She's been unable to write this piece without direct reference to the exceptions I made as well as the examples that I gave, and she even at one point echoes what I think is my strongest point, namely that women don't need to be funny. That for most men, if they can't make women laugh, they are out of the evolutionary contest. They're never going to get laid. Most men are fantastically unattractive. What women see in them is mysterious to most men as well as most women. If you can't make them laugh, you don't have a chance. With women, there's no need to be rendering yourself attractive to men in that way. We already find you attractive, thanks. I'm not saying that there aren't great female comedians. There are many, many, many. That's not the same as the female sense of humor. She makes the same distinction. I say the problem with female comedians up till now is they tend to be either dykes or Jews or butch. Roseanne Barr, Sarah Silverman, etc., etc. And these are all forms of emulating male humor. She says the same. What does she say is different? Well, now there are some that are also pretty, even if some of them are a bit butch and a bit Jewish. Well, okay. But she says, and I quote,
2008, this came out?
By and large, however,
different time.
stand-up comedy is tougher and meaner, and the women who do it play by men's rules. Well, that's exactly, in so many words, what I said. But now they're prettier and sexier, and they wear less and care less about the proprieties. So, what has been the achievement of my essay? It's been to make sexier women try harder to amuse me. Well, that was my whole plan to start off with.
So
he's
let me
so
just say
That was
this.
chosen by
Sorry, I missed that guy.
Is it still going?
Yeah, there's a bit more.
Okay, you want
like-
to play it?
Let's see. Hold on.
magazine's
2 minutes.
correspondence editors criticizing me made me think I could write a sequel called How Some Women Apparently Can't Even Read, because where I had said, look, I'm not saying there are no female comedians, I'm not saying they can't do stand-up or a woman can't do it. You'd get a long, boring letter saying, I challenge Mr. Hitchens to a stand-up contest with this bull dyke I know in Portland, Oregon, who does a great stand-up routine. Well, that's not getting the point, is it, dear? And it's trying, I find sometimes, irritating, time-consuming, annoying, and they don't listen.
What's the big deal? Is this question?
Intuitively,
almost
everybody thinks that a sense of humor or wit is a sign of intelligence. So it can be, if people aren't following you closely, that an accusation that one lacks a sense of humor or isn't funny, which are two different things, either, though, is an insult. Now, of course, this isn't true. It would be a waste of the male
The
effort,
Zooms are the best.
which is much more highly evolved and much more evolutionarily self-selective, if women didn't have a sense of humor and couldn't be made to laugh. I won't try and do it for you on camera, but there's an attitude, the head thrown back and the mouth wide open and the horseshoe of lovely teeth and tongue on display and so forth, that is, well, it's a bit of a surrender.
It's that picture he's got back there.
Is
It's
that
worth
it
it for
right
its
there?
own sake, and it's a simulacrum of something even more worth it.
He's saying it looks like
Now,
sex.
women don't need to do that to men. Okay. And with that, as people tend to say, I rest my case.
I miss that guy. I miss that guy.
So, I, what he's saying there is something to it.
Yeah.
People don't realize that humor is a defense mechanism. It's defense.
Dude, if I didn't have a miserable time as a kid,
Yeah.
I would have no sense of humor.
And that's what I get worried about when they're like trying to get rid of bullying. It's like, dude, I am who I am because I got bullied.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. Do you know any people that you would want to hang out with that didn't have a rough time at some point? And,
No,
like that are
and
funny.
So when someone says women aren't funny, I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, as a
Right,
as
and
a
he's
blanket
going
statement.
for effect. He's going
He's
for
for sure. He's
effect,
trolling,
right?
yeah.
You know, he in a weird way. It's what Skip Bayless does, where he just
Yeah.
says the most retarded shit.
Well,
and
and
he
I will
just
say-
tries to get
You're right.
retweets and people
His
talking.
point though is he's saying that if you zoomed way out and just saw every woman averaged into one woman, that woman is not likely to be funny. The average of all women, because proportionately, there are fewer funny women than there are
So
funny.
let me just tell you why I compare the female comics to, and that is white athletes. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right? It's like there's some really great white athletes out there, but it's not nearly as many as black athletes.
Well, especially basketball players. Yeah, let's say
Well,
white
just
basketball
like
players.
football.
Yeah, football too,
In
yeah.
particular, maybe positions, you have some great white guys, but overall, it's like most of your leagues. Now, soccer seems to be a little different, but
Yeah.
what is Europe's and Latin America's demographic? And if you had quality black athletes playing soccer,
Yeah, I mean, there are
guarantee
plenty
you
of
they would kill it, be
there are a
killing
lot of
everybody.
great African soccer players. Yeah, a bunch.
Right? It's just, it's not what they focus on.
Right.
So when we talk about the United States and we talk about athletes, high-level black athletes outnumber high-level white athletes. It's not even close. And that's with comedy.
Yeah, can you imagine though if you tried to make the NBA 50-50, or whatever,
Well,
proportionally.
That is what I think is. That's what I want to say. The equivalent of making a list of people you think should be up.
Yeah. It's
In
like,
the
I
old-
got the BYU roster right here. Look at all these white guys that can play basketball. I want them in the NBA.
Yeah, and it's like it would be ridiculous, and that's my whole thing. It's like when people go, "Oh, dude, the NBA," it's like they're gonna let where are the women? Where's the diversity? Where are the black? It's like those aren't the best male athletes. Those are the best athletes. Period, of men and women, of white, black, Asian, everything. Those are the best. There's no better. Occasionally, you might have a couple people who play in Europe or in China or in another league that could play in the NBA. They just went where they get the easier money. But for the most part, those are the 420 greatest basketball players on the planet of any demographic. So when you look at the Comedy Store, right? Is the Comedy Store the only great comics in town? No, there's a lot of great comics. Okay? But dude, like, let's go before COVID. Take our list of 300. Like, what percentage of them do you think would not be engulfed in the OR? And I've had I have bad sets in the OR, and I've been playing there for over 20 years.
What what is it about that? Is it the way the room's laid out, or is it who goes
know
to that
what it
room?
is,
What is
Johnny?
it about that room? 'Cause
No
nobody
host.
No host. Okay.
You have to follow, like, you
So
have
you don't
to
get that reset.
You don't get someone to eat a little time, reset the room for you.
Okay.
Joey Diaz just flamethrowed it. You got to go backdraft and walk right in and put out a fucking fire.
The music doesn't help with that?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. It is why Comedy Store comics are the best comics on the planet.
Has there ever been a host there? Do you know? Like, since you've been there?
I mean, like, I would
I mean,
host Comedy Central, but in the OR?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Interesting.
Nope. So, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. Now,
Arguably, by the way, I would just say,
back
arguably
to
a
female comics real quick.
more
because-
fun place to watch comedy for me is the OR.
Well, I mean, like, there's nothing like it. Even the Cellar isn't like it. The Cellar's like there's a certain place where the comics hang out, and then the show's there. Whereas the Comedy Store, it's like, dude, it's like hang out at the Rock Club and Nirvana walks by, Guns N' Roses walks by. That's who was playing there at the peak of it. So it's like female comics, right? Going back to white athlete, Jessica Kershaw, Christina Pajinski. Like there are murderers out there. It's just the fact is, based on what he was saying, which is true, evolutionary reasons that women don't need to be as funny as men. And the only reason a lot of these women do it, and a lot of guys too, is to get famous. And that's why when they get a movie, they stop doing stand-up. And it's not just women that do that. It's guys that do that too. But man, that's a real sign of how much stand-up meant to you. Is as soon as you pop, do you keep doing it? Right? And it's just like, no, a lot of them don't. So there's a small group of people that, I mean, there's a handful. What would be the number out of the thousands of women do stand-up that are actual murderers? Who knows? The funny ones are super funny. The problem is there's a lot of garbage. But guess what? Same thing with guys. There's a lot more garbage. But the best of the best is the best. Right? Like, out of 200 guys and 200 women, you're more likely to have more good male comics than female comics.
Because the talent pool is so much deeper.
Yeah, so it'd be like 20 great male comics, 5 great female comics.
Yeah.
It's just the numbers.
And it's not insulting, It would be insulting if there were just as many women pursuing comedy as men.
Listen, man,
There aren't.
the wage gap is only applied when it affects women. There are, like Instagram. Is anyone marching against the fact that more women get more likes on dumb shit on Instagram?
No. Why do female porn actors get so much more than men?
Why are
We need equality.
models? Why are female
Supermodels,
models
yeah.
making millions of dollars when their male counterparts aren't even close to that? Nobody's complaining about that because it's pretty obvious why. Because people like to look at very attractive female models, including women. Male models, guys are like, oh, dude, that guy's good looking, and then they move on.
Yeah.
Like the number of good looking guys that men are willing to go, wow, it's a good looking dude. It's like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. Yeah.
Who else? Like, who was the
George
soccer
Clooney,
player?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, and then the guy from England too. Like it's
David Beckham. Yeah.
It's such a small Ryan Reynolds. Like there's like 4 good-looking guys.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is the Emperor's New Clothes. I mean,
really?
Dude, incredibly average looking.
My girlfriend likes him. See.
Hey, listen. If Ryan Gosling was working at Home Depot, he'd be like, wow, that's a good-looking guy. It wouldn't be it's the fact that you add fame to him, and he's part of that Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, I guess.
Right?
Good luck telling my girlfriend, but yeah.
All right, let's go through some stories. Dude, luckily, I have all these stories for next time.
All right.
That was like, so that's the end of the thing. Women are funny. Dude, woke comedy is, I just hope that these clubs learn from their mistakes and realize nobody goes to woke comedy. It's the Emperor's New Clothes. Don't worry about people tweeting about lineups. Just put murderers. And listen, when I say it's the same thing, it's just pop comedy. It's like you need danger, right?
No, I'm with you.
Like, dude, Robin Wood, like we talk about name the comics that they talk about at the Comedy Store, are known for the Comedy Store over the generations. Name them. I'm not going to put them in your head. You name them.
The guys that are associated with the Comedy Store.
Yeah, over years. Not just like me
you
and
said Robin Williams,
Okay.
Sam Kinison, you got Letterman, you got fucking Rogan, obviously. What, you just want me to keep naming
Keep
names?
going.
Yeah, I mean, I could go forever. Shit. You got Kaufman. You got... now that you put the pressure on me, I'm having trouble coming up with names.
Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong.
What, I could go on forever.
Richard Pryor,
What? Yeah,
right?
yeah, Pryor.
Dice, Sam Kinison.
Yeah, I already said Kinison.
Eddie Murphy was there for a while.
Murphy,
Andrew
yeah.
Kaufman, David Letterman.
Yeah,
I don't know if Joan Rivers was there, but she was. You know, like what do those all have in common?
Leno.
Like
I mean, he was there.
Leno was a pop comic, but the rest of those guys. I mean, even David Letterman was edgy for what he was doing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You kidding?
Right? The store's known for edge. If you make it pop comedy, it's going to die. And that's all I gotta say. Are they getting
Shandling, Gary
I'm not
Shandling,
sitting there telling you that these people aren't getting laughs, because they're all my friends and they're funny. It's just too much of the same thing. It's like
it's becoming like Meltdown or something, Nerd Melt or whatever.
By the way, Nerd Melt, the famous Nerd Melt, where all these cable shows came out of that I heard so much about, towards the end, I finally got invited there. And by
Did
the
you
way,
really?
Yeah, I played it one time.
How was it?
And the guy who put me up, his show got banned. But so...
That's hilarious.
So I go there. John, do you know what Nerd Melt was? Do you understand this powerhouse of comedy?
It was,
where everything... 2 rows of lawn furniture.
Yeah, it's like folding chairs.
Right? That's what they were making shows from.
Terrible room. Yeah. Like, as far as just a room for comedy. It's
Right?
like this, I mean, yeah.
Like, what are
In
we
a comic book
talking
store.
about here?
In a comic book store.
And like, nothing against anybody running those shows, but it's like, you're making TV shows out of this?
Yeah.
And it's just like, listen, dude, there's some fucking killers at the store right now. Laura Batts, Brian Simpson. I mean, they're killers there. All these young crop killers. But it's like, you got people from the outside trying to blackmail you into giving them spots in Mecca. Make them earn it. Make them, like, dude, back in my day, dude, like, you wanted to take a spot, you had to take somebody's spot.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and back in your day, this petition would have had to been delivered in person on a piece of paper, and they would have just been like, okay,
Get the fuck
off.
I
Yeah.
love Jim Brewer, but there's a famous Mitzi Short Jim Brewer story.
Yeah, you have to tell that.
Where Jim Brewer called the comic store going, hey, I'm on, Saturday Night Live. I'm known for Goat Boy and all this stuff. And she goes, I don't give a fuck. Hangs up on it. Right? And I love Jim Brewer. I mean, like, that's a famous story.
That's great. Yeah,
And
Louis C.K. had problems too, right?
yeah, for a very long time. And I was super happy that he got on the Showtime series. I mean, don't even get me started on
Was that story?
who's
in that?
allowed to play there and who isn't. That's a whole different show. But at the end of the day, man, the people killing it aren't bitching, right? There aren't. They're just grinding. Well, how does that apply to me? Because you could say this has been an hour of me bitching, right? I mean, you could say that. My whole thing is like, I think I'm ready just to pull out, you know, that Terrence McKenna video we played at the end of Tinfoil Hat? That really's hit with me. And like, I'm really ready to just find my own like circuit and do what Doug Stanhope's been doing, playing these alt rooms where like my fans come and see me and I can yell and because Johnny, that's another thing. I don't even know if I want to make people laugh anymore. I think I just want to scream.
Yeah, and people will laugh when you do that because you're a funny person.
All right, Johnny,
do
let's do some stories.
Okay. This is from The Insider. The UK may soon ban boiling lobsters alive, and a landmark bill that acknowledges that crustaceans and mollusks, too, are sentient beings. What do you think about that?
Listen, it's just like the whole eating animals is like something's got to die, right? I mean, that's how it is. The question is, they don't want to see the animal they're eating, which is always weird when you walk in, you're like, I'm going to eat that. And it's like, glop, glop, glop. You're like, and then you're eating it. It's like weird, but that's life.
But dude, yeah, exactly. If we can't bring ourselves to kill a lobster, which is basically a sea cockroach,
dude, hunting,
how are we going to do cows?
Is as primal as sex and drinking water.
Oh, yeah, it's our lives, dude. I mean, we wouldn't be here without it.
It's like we're trying to get away from that stuff. It's like, no, dude.
I say get closer to it. That's why I like Gordon Ramsay and his shows. You know, I was a big Bourdain fan. I went to see that doc the other day. We can talk about that next time. And Ramsay started doing this thing where he would raise his own, you know, even in the city, raise his own sheep, name them, and then slaughter them and eat them. And that's a better answer than this, if you ask me.
It is the way to live life. I mean, that's why for me, I'd rather go to a local butcher and get them to do it, and then I take the meat.
If you can afford to do that, that's the move. Go grass-fed, go local. You're right, totally. Anyway, that's just mostly the headline that's appealing about that. This is just a weird story. This is from Fox Channel 6. New York Police Department beekeeper, who knew there was such a thing? There's a guy with a beekeeper outfit, says NYPD on the back, beekeeper. Can you believe that exists? NYPD beekeeper removes 25,000 bees from Times Square. Isn't that crazy? A massive swarm of bees invaded Times Square earlier this week. Nothing to be concerned about. Oh, fuck. This is what the NYPD said on Facebook, trying to be funny. Nothing to be, with two E's, concerned about.
I'll fight them.
Officer Mays, the NYPD's beekeeper, swiftly responded to the swarm of bees in Times Square today and gently removed approximately 25,000 bees before transporting them to a safe location. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
We, on the farm one time, these bees just kind of come in swarms, you know, I mean, obviously, and if they decide they want to be on your house or on your barn, that's just where they are suddenly. And we had that happen one time, dude, on the side of a barn.
And it's out of nowhere,
yeah,
right?
and just thousands of them are there suddenly. And we had to call this guy.
And now you're like, but bees are life. We got to be, so it's like.
We had to come, right, and take them away.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I guess all the stragglers that were out somewhere, they came back to that same spot, and he had to come get the rest of them and, like, put them in the...
And what do? You got to love the bees, right? Because
Well,
without the bees, we're effed.
Yeah, that's what they say anyway.
Johnny, did I not say a lot of F words this time?
I don't think so, no.
Yes.
I didn't want to slow the show down either with that. I don't want to distract anybody. We got one guy commented and it's sticking in my craw. He didn't like the dinging, so I'm gonna stop doing it this time, buddy. This is great. You know, Asia, they're ahead of us. They're just in the future a little bit, a couple years. And this is another example. South Korean toilet turns excrement into power and digital currency.
Literal shit coins?
Yeah. That's it, dude. That's the joke. Using a toilet can pay for your coffee or buy your bananas at a university in South Korea where human waste is being used to power a building. Cho Jae-won, an urban environmental engineering professor at Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology, has engineered an eco-friendly toilet connected to a laboratory that uses excrement to produce biogas and manure. The BV toilet, a portmanteau of the words bee and vision, uses a vacuum pump to send feces to an underground tank, reducing water use. There, microorganisms break down the waste into methane, which becomes a source of energy for the building, powering a gas stove, a hot water boiler, and solid oxide fuel cell. And they're also using that to mine crypto.
You know, you loved women's asses
Isn't that great?
before. Now that's literally like
Did I ever tell you the Chuck
a
Berry?
money maker.
You know, Chuck Berry was like a peeping Tom, right?
Oh, he'd like to
Famously.
get peed on. He'd like to get all that
A
stuff.
friend of mine that I used to work with when I worked for the Durham Bulls, the baseball team, he told me a story. He used to promote shows back in like the 70s and the 60s, and Chuck Berry was supposed to play at this show. And it got closer and closer to time, no sign of Chuck, where everybody's like, where's Chuck? And finally, my buddy, Ken, got sent out, like, where is Chuck Berry? Go find him. And they found him next door in like a restaurant or something, under the baseboards of the floor in the women's toilet, watching women urinate, and they had to come like make sure the cops didn't arrest him and they, like sneak him out of there and get him back to the show. Isn't that crazy?
Well, dude, that's why he's great. And that's another thing going back to comedy. They're trying to get rid of all the outlaws.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, if they had nailed Chuck Berry's balls to the wall, we wouldn't have rock and roll. So
Yeah.
good thing they did.
Well, it's like he's black, so in today's thing, he wouldn't be called out. I mean, who punched Rihanna?
Chris Brown, yeah.
He's still touring, and selling out arenas.
I
and
mean,
everyone's
wrecked her face.
It's
dude.
a great album, dude.
Fuck that guy forever. York police officer accused of working as a realtor while on shift. Now, see, I think this is a good thing. I think if police had second jobs that they could do, like moonlight and stuff, maybe they wouldn't be as, wound up at work. A police officer in York has been charged with fraud and accused of working as a realtor while on shift. York police issued a news release on Tuesday that said in the spring of this year, the Professional Standards Bureau launched an internal investigation involving fraud. 30-year-old constable, isn't that cool? That's what they call their police in England, constables.
I love that.
Jamil Sadeh, a resident of Markham, was charged with fraud under $5,000 and is scheduled to appear in court on August 3rd. Police said he worked with police in 2013. Anyway, so this guy is just moonlighting as a realtor, when he's supposed to be taking 911 calls and going out on patrol.
Oh, really?
He's just like listing, properties on websites and stuff. Isn't that funny?
Oh, he's multitasking. He got in trouble for that.
And he got in trouble for it. Right. I say good on him. Okay, this Sam, you as a person who adventurously named their children, your children's middle names are pretty out there. Ghost and Ninja. I think you'll appreciate this. This is from New Zealand. A New Zealand mother has named her 3 children Metallica, Slayer, and Pantera.
Dude, by the way, Dana knows a woman who named their kids that. Can you send me that article? Because it could be Dana's friend.
In New Zealand?
It's possible.
Okay. All right. A New Zealand mother has reportedly named her kids, as I said, Metallica, Slayer, and Pantera. The news of the unidentified woman's choice of names for her kids was first broken by
triplets?
Yeah, triplets, yeah.
That's the best.
It was from a documentary filmmaker, David Ferrier. Proud to report that a New Zealand mother has named her children what I said. She told me it's not easy raising 3 of the heaviest band. That's not funny. 3 of the heavy. I stopped reading that because it wasn't even that. That's dumb. I reached out to the Registrar General himself to confirm if there are any restrictions on naming babies after band names. She found out there were none, and she named her kids that. So there you go.
Yeah.
You started a trend, Sam. Actually, you did.
All right, we gotta go.
Okay, 2 more stories.
All right.
Okay. This one is this is from Fox News. The San Francisco Gay Men's Choir is facing a wave of backlash after offering up what is described, and I'll just say how dumb do you have to be to do this in this climate. They offered up what they said is ironic humor about fears surrounding children and the gay agenda. In one of their songs, they sang this. You ready?
And this, the choir?
Yeah,
I've heard about this video.
You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked, one of the members sings. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children, happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco, warn about San Francisco, make them wear pleated pants. We don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair. So, and here's just a little snippet
Which is, now that what they're doing is they're selling this as they're coming for your kids, right?
Yeah.
Now, saying they're going to make them tolerant and fair seems
not.
less like,
Yeah. They're kind of playing on fears.
We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
A little uncomfortable with how he was looking at me there. But.
Well, this is all part of a plan to steal your loosh.
Yeah, that's what.
How do we not know that somebody is paying them to do all that to piss you off?
I think you're right. Because Fox News plays right into it. They, whether willingly or not, or knowingly or not, they play that other side.
So
pitch perfect.
I have a problem with what those guys are doing to their own community, right? It's like when we talked about Tinfoil Hat about Jesse Jackson at that Summer of Soul talking about the power of Martin Luther King.
Where'd you go see it? Or did you watch it?
It was on television.
Okay, all right. It's playing in theaters too.
I know, which is weird because like you love to go to theaters. I love theaters, but I haven't been to the theater in forever.
Oh, I went to see Black Widow last night. It's okay.
How was it?
It's okay.
I hear it's super woke. And did they shave down her titties?
It's okay. I hope not.
I feel like her titties were much bigger. Now she looks like she has no titties.
She might have lost weight for the role, but I don't. She's also getting older. There's think gravity. You know. No, it was okay, dude. I didn't love it. I mean, it was fine.
I just think it's like, it's like who is your demographic and what do they like? And I'm sorry, but these Generation Z kids, they don't give a fuck about political correctness. I just swore. You should get a ding on that one. They don't care.
I don't know. That feels like that's in context to me. You're talking about the F word as like a throwaway, and that wasn't a throwaway.
That's true.
I don't think you should have to pay for that one.
That's true. Go on. I'm inviting Jason Rouse to our show.
Okay.
Jason, you're on a podcast right now.
What's up, Rouse?
How are you?
Jason, I'm fine. Can you tell them about your podcast real quick?
My podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify is called Jason Rouse's Safe Word.
Jason Rouse's Safe Word. So, Jason, why don't you join us real quick while we do one more story on the podcast? Hold on. All right, give us the story.
This is our animal story. I'm going to have to talk kind of loud here. Reptile experts rescue monitor lizard with head stuck in the toilet. We're just going to show a video here. A 4-foot monitor lizard with its head stuck in a toilet was rescued from a home in India after it spent 5 days hiding in the bathroom.
Let me ask you something, Johnny. Which way is the head stuck? Coming up or going down?
It looks like it's coming up, but
then fuck this.
Look at the toilet too.
Lizard,
this
I
is
can't see it.
it's coming. This is an Indian toilet, and
Dude, an Indian toilet.
I did all this research online.
Oh, here it is. Oh my God.
Can you imagine, dude, that going to take a dump and then this thing is waiting for you?
And then they took time to get it out?
Yeah, what are you going to leave it there? What do you mean?
No, but
just
like,
flush the
are they
toilet a
like-
bunch?
Are they like, we got to help the lizard? I'd be like, fucking kill that lizard.
Well, I think these are these gnarly things. As they bite you, dude, like all the bacteria in their mouth, it can kill you.
Oh, yeah. Is that Komodo?
No, but they're similar. Monitors are similar, I think, and they will fuck your world up.
That dude is just not caring. Look at him. That looks like it. Dude, imagine going and finding an alligator in your shitter.
Well, man, where I used to live, they find alligators all the time.
In the shitter?
No, just like people taking their dogs for walks all the time and getting their dogs jacked all the time by alligators where I lived in South Carolina for a while.
Where it's wet and cold.
Yes, they are. Hey, let me call you right after, Jason. Great job. Thank you for being our third guest on Broken Sim.
Later, dude.
Yeah, dude, I would shit bricks. I would literally freak. Dude, I'm telling you, mob, sharks, alligators scared the shit out of me.
What do you think of the bobblehead? That's pretty cool, right?
But dude, it is the best gift ever.
That's our best bobblehead alert.
Yeah, that is the best.
I've been
bobblehead.
waiting. I've been so excited to show you that too. I ordered it like 3 weeks ago.
By the way, you got.
Well,
the
dude, they
nose.
sculpt the thing. I have to send them like 10 photos of you, and it's actually hand sculpted. If you look like the beard and everything, you can see where they.
And the best, I mean, dude, you got the nose perfect. One more time, tell them the bobblehead people.
AmazingBobbleheads.com.
AmazingBobbleheads.com. Real quick, I want to take a moment to thank JB's Tree Service. Okay? JB Tree Service. All right? You call it 24 hours, free estimate, honest and good service. Jose, a very nice man, came to my house and was going to do some work on my backyard because I want my backyard to be set for my daughters so they could have fun and do fun stuff. And he came in the back and out of nowhere, one of the pipes busted and he busted his hump to fix it the best he could and he didn't have to. And he's a nice guy. So if you guys want to give him a call.
You're in the LA area.
If you're in the LA area, okay, go to call them at 562-739-5555. 8060. So this show is going to be brought to you by our good friends at JB Tree Service.
I got one last thing, actually. Who do you think won the Flat Earth debate on tinfoil?
Well, based on what I'm hearing, everybody thinks Frank did.
Yeah, I thought so, maybe too. And I like Frank. We're still going to do that experiment. I've been talking to him. He's a cool guy. I talked to him a little bit. We're going to try to do that experiment and shoot it sometime. Will you come out there with us once we get it all together?
I will look at it.
Kind of host the thing.
I love doing those debates. Listen, to do a debate, you first have to debate the moon. And once you come to an agreement on what the moon is, then you could go on to what the Earth is.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I leave all
And they couldn't get past the moon. Yeah.
No, you just can't.
Yeah.
Because so much of the discussion is, well, what about the moon? And you're like, well, if you don't know, if you can't say what the moon is, you can't really have a discussion on it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's my opinion. Well, Johnny, thank you for letting me be on your podcast. Sorry we talked about one subject the whole time.
We're going a little shorter than usual because Sam has to go to a baseball game.
I do. Listen, man, the pipes broke. I had to fix that, and I got here late.
I thought Jose fixed the pipes.
It's Jesus.
Jesus fixed the pipes.
Jesus.
Let me take that again. 3, 2, 1. I thought Jesus fixed the pipes.
He did, but I had to help him fix them.
Oh,
and by the way, me helping is everything okay?
Did he break the pipes like with the lawnmower or something?
No. The pipes broke, by the way.
Wait, also, what? Oh, no. Okay. XG told me you needed somebody to do lawn stuff. Was that what this was? Okay.
So he came to take a look, and when we were looking at one of the pipes broke.
All right.
All right, man. Guys, thank you so much. I promise you a quick turnover. We'll do another Broken Sim sooner than later.
Get ready for some ads. 3, 2, 1.